Sai Leela, Episode 36, Experiences of Madhavrao Deshpande, Shama. Upasani Baba, when he came to Shirdi first, was sleeping and boarding here. He was still unwell. He cried in his sleep, "I am dead," and he asked me to request Sai Baba to help him. I told Sai Baba that Upasani Sastri was expecting death and getting frightened. Sai Baba replied that this place, Shirdi, is for saving and not for killing people. At first, like others, I also took Upasani Maharaj to be a spy, but he assured me he was not one. Sai Baba at the first visit asked him to stay on or return within 8 days. Upasani did not agree and pleaded distance from Duhila, etc. as his reasons. Finally he put up in this Dikshit Vada for 21 years. Sai Baba told him to remain 4 years in Khandoba temple, promised him Khandoba's grace at the end of that term. This was said by Baba about 15 days after his second arrival. G.S. Kaparde held his reading classes downstairs. Upasani Sastri attended it. Upasani Sastri would spend much of his nights in talking upstairs when he lived at Khandoba temple. Sai Baba's statement that he was 4 years younger than myself cannot be understood as relating to this life. He looked my senior in point of age. He told me of my relationship with him in previous births. Once he said to me, "You and I were living in the same lane in a former birth." The little girl of 3, Shanti Karvakar, who fell into the well and was upheld by Baba's hand, slowly left in the water and thus saved from any hurt by Baba's grace, who called herself sister of Baba, is now alive. Her father, Baba Kirvekar, now dead, was then living here. When she fell into the well, H.S. Dikshit, G.M. Bhuti, etc. were there. That might be about 1915. She is married and now living with her husband in Malegaon, which is 30 miles off Manmad. I was an assistant teacher in a school which was located in the place where Baba's horse is now stable. A window of that always looked on the adjoining mosque. Through that, I occasionally watched Sai Baba, who was taken by people to be a mad fakir. I had no regard for him then. I remained a teacher 5 or 6 years. I gave up that place as I was transferred. Ganu Maharaj then took my place. Nana Ratna Parke was my headmaster and superior. One Lakshman Master was another teacher above me. Our family belonged to Nimon, where I was born, but my father came and settled here when I was 2 years old. Ever since I have continued here. I studied here. After resigning my place, I used to visit Sai Baba off and on. In 5 or 6 months thereafter, I was convinced that Sai Baba was God. How my faith grew even when I was a teacher, I shall mention. I used to sleep in the school. Baba was the sole occupant of the mosque. Yet I could hear English, Hindi and many languages being spoken in the mosque at night, eventually by Baba. I was confident that he had remarkable powers and began to have faith in him. When I was still at school, Chidambar Keshav Gadgil came to Shirdi and asked me, "It is said a great sadhu is here. Where is he?" I replied that there was none at Shirdi, and from the school I pointed to the mosque and told him that there is only a mad fakir. Mr. Gadgil went to the mosque. Sai Baba showered abuses on him, but the abuse was productive of faith and joy. Gadgil had worshipped or paid his respect to a saint living in Bhima Shankar temple at Pune. That saint had asked him to go and see the saint at Shirdi. That was why he came to Shirdi. Now Sai in his abuse referred to that, and Gadgil felt sure that Baba was a great saint. Therefore, henceforward he frequently visited Baba and became his stringent devotee. At the first visit of Mr. Gadgil, he was in a Chintas, and with him came Vaman, a special Munsif, and Sitaram Padwan, an educational officer, and had a Tongawala. I went with these up to the steps of the mosque. Baba forbade us from climbing the steps and began his shower of abuse. Therein he said, I am a Muslim. Go and fall at the feet of the sadhu in the Bhimashankar temple. Ananda Swami was a devotee of Akalkot Maharaj and had established a mutt at Savegaon, 6 miles off Elova, where he lived. He was 95 years old. In 1885, when I and Nandu Marwadi went to see him at his mutt, he wore only a langot and was a great sanskari. At the close words thereafter, Ananda Swami returned and told us his opinion. At the close of our visit, Ananda Swami came with us to Shirdi to see Sai Baba. Sai Baba and he saw each other but exchanged no words. Thereafter, Ananda Swami returned and told us his opinion of Sri Sai in these words. He is a diamond on a dunghill. Bala Chopad was then aged only 7 years. Langagues came to Shirdi and conducted grand sapta, repeating of numerous people mantras for 7 days with homa, and fed large number at the close of the sapta. He did so only once, that was long after Ananda Swami's visit. Langagues also saw Sai Baba and expressed his very high opinion of Baba. Nana Sahib Nimorkar was older than myself by at least 5 to 6 years. I shall recite Baba's strange goat purchase. Once a man had a number of goats with him. 2 of his goats were worth about rupees 4 each. But Baba went to him and paid 32 rupees for them and bought them. I and Tatya Patil learned the price Baba had paid and said that in the bargain Baba was duped, as the goats were worth only 4 rupees each. Baba then got pulses for about 1.5 rupees and fed the goats with the pulses. Then he explained why he acted like this. He said that the goats were looking at him. Then Baba noticed them. They were in the previous births 2 women that had served Baba, but they were fiercely quarreling with each other and had killed each other. They took birth as goats. Baba then went and returned the goats to the owner. Pius was a Rohila. Many Rohilas came here in Baba's time. At Nimgaon, there were the landlords. Baba Sahib Dengle and his younger brother Nana Sahib Dengle, neither of them were an official, but they had much influence with the officers. Nana Sahib Dengle came to Baba when I was a teacher at the school. When Nana Sahib Nimorkar was staying at Shirdi, his son and daughter-in-law at Pune were attacked by plague. Mr. and Mrs. Nana Sahib wanted permission to go to Pune. Baba did not grant permission. Mrs. Nana Sahib then wept. Baba said to her, "Why do you cry? In 15 days' time, your son will come here." Accordingly, his son and his wife recovered, and the son came to Shirdi within the period fixed by Baba. Sai Baba enabled people to escape from the clutches of death in such gandas. Compare this with the way in which Samartha Ramdas enabled one to escape from such ganda. At a particular time, death was to seize a devotee, but Ramdas told the latter to remain by his side and be vigorous, holding on to the feet of Ramdas. The appointed time came and passed away. Death had been kept at bay by Ramdas, and his devotees escaped the death on that occasion. Nanavali was 70 years at the time of death. He was a Guru Bandhu of Yashwant Rao, the departed Dev Manav of Nasik. When our Nanavali came, he was old. Nanavali was a Sanskriti Purush who had taught Vairagya. He wore no sacred thread. On the day of Baba passed away, Nanavali declared, "I will clear off." He died in some days thereafter. Here we come to end of Sai Leela episode 36. Om Sai Ram.